So here is something to think about, my friends. Something to seriously consider. What I've done is to put together a presentation on leadership which is less than 3 weeks old. I learned about your country because I've never been to your country before. I learned something about your country, and then I've tried to put some concepts of leadership. The material I've written that you will find in your manuals, your conference manuals, also has got something that is very current, and I hope you will enjoy this little presentation of mine. Let's go back and ask ourselves, what price progress? Well, you know, the age of progress might have lightened our physical load, but I do believe that it has numbed our minds and taken our spirit away from work. Think about it. How many hours do we spend at work? And how tired and jaded we feel when we get back home to our loved ones. Those of us who are in positions of leadership find it even more difficult carrying this burden. So yes, we have made progress, but the question I ask is, what price have we paid for this progress? Has it been a burden that is too much? Or can we as leaders, because I understand that in this conference hall, we have the cream of the leadership of Estonia, the Estonian business at least. And therefore, I think it's relevant for all of us to ask ourselves, is this burden fair? Can we do better? Can we learn to do better? I think speed and change are no longer linear or additive. We have seen how much change has taken place in the last few years, and certainly from the context of Estonia, 10 years, in the last 10 years, I think we've done a tremendous amount of change. We've seen a tremendous amount of change. So therefore, my argument goes something like this. We live in the age of the internet, and I'm reminded of Peter Senge, who said this wonderful thing to all of us to remind us, we cannot wait for evolution. You know, we took 3 million years to grow a lung, another 20 to learn to walk upright, 60 more to grasp a spear, and 10 more to light a fire. Many times when I go and work with companies and we talk about change, they say, Sam, we've got to do this slowly. We've got to do this slowly. And surely, being slow has got a great meaning. But I hope to demonstrate to you during the course of my presentation that being slow has a context after being fast. If you are never fast, why are you talking about being slow? I mean, what is the need to talk about being slow when you haven't been fast in the first place? So here is a little bit of a take on leadership, what I think leadership is all about, and you can ask yourselves, maybe you can take a poll like you did a little while ago of how much each one of us involves in these things. Leadership is first of all about thinking. Yeah, using the stuff that we've got between our ears. Followed by deciding. You know, you think, then you decide that you got to do something, then you act swiftly. And I'll come back to acting swiftly in a moment. And finally, reflecting upon what we've done. If you take these 4 things, it looks something like this. Thinking is about exploration. It's about looking at new things. It's about looking at things that I've not seen before. Considering issues that I have not considered before. That is exploration. Exploration is followed by evaluation and selection, which is what deciding is all about. Taking a range of options which are born at thinking time, followed by deciding. And then you say, all right, this seems like a good option, let me do this. Then you really, really distinguish between the boys and the men, between the girls and the women. The men are those who act swiftly. The women are those who act swiftly. The boys and girls simply decide and say, we've taken the decision. I call that paralysis by analysis. I'm busy thinking, so I do nothing. Windows of opportunities are so narrow today, Ask Motorola, ask Ericsson, they'll tell you about their brother called Nokia further up north here. What Nokia taught them. Yeah? That's about acting. In fact, most organizations are very, very good at deciding. The great organizations, the world-class organizations, are all about acting swiftly after taking the decision. That's what GE, General Electric, calls edge. I am going to refer to GE a couple of times. I know Percy Barnevik is here tomorrow, and ABB are clients of mine, but I will talk a little bit about some GE concepts here. So those of you who are from ABB, don't get upset. And finally, of course, you got to reflect. You've got to say, all right, I took this decision, I acted this way. What happened? Did I get the results I wanted? And that's an important thing. Remember one thing, all these activities are highly, highly intellectual. The thing here is also to remember that the deciding phase, keep it as democratic as you like. Involve as many people as you like. Seek consensus at that stage. But once the decision is taken, for God's sake, be absolutely autocratic in your action stage. Don't seek democracy there, because you will get nothing out of it. My work with clients tells me that that is where they go wrong. They do not become autocratic at the time of implementation. There is too much of, oh, let's seek consensus kind of stuff going on, and that doesn't really help.